Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to StarCraft 2 and my speed run of Wings of Liberty campaign. One note before we do get started here. I lost the audio file for this episode, and that is actually going to be episode 3 as well. So I'm posthumously casting these. Here I am going to get the stim pack upgrade, I believe. I'm mulling it over here, as you can see. I was debating whether to get combat shield stim packs or concussive shells. I believe I went with stim pack and concussive shells. Maybe I skipped out on concussive shells for now. Nope. I decided to get it. I was hoping stim packs would work on both Marines and Marauders, but as we will see later, it is just Marines. So, I guess that happens once in a while. And then I'm going to do the mission, in defense of Argus Colony, I believe. So yeah, I'm going to do evacuating the Argus Colony, I believe is what it's called here. And this is a fairly straightforward mission. Unfortunately, it's another one of those that is timed, so it isn't quick. It took me probably 25 Blizzard minutes to complete it. So you're going to start the mission here with 2 medics and 2 fire bats. And if you're playing on your own, you're not going for timed run or anything, clear out this whole area, grab all the bonus minerals. The evacuations don't start until you cross the trigger line near the main base. So you can spend your time here nicely and just grab some resources and whatnot. And, have a little bit of extra resources once you do start your base.
Let's get cooking.
And, as I said myself when I was commenting to myself, apparently, because I lost the audio file, fire bats kind of suck, honestly. They're so slow, and Hellions are just so much better. They're faster, and that's why Hellbats aren't in the game. Firebats. Hellbats are going to be in the game. Firebats, unfortunately, are just kind of an archaic technology. Marauders are far better, and the main reason Firebats suck is they're a bio unit, so they're not very fast like a lot of the vehicles, and unfortunately, they are basically melee, and it just doesn't work out. There aren't a ton of melee units, and you'll want something more ranged that can stick with that Marine group, and that's why Marauders work so well. Anyways, I start off my base here. Obviously, I'm grabbing up a bunch of SCVs. In fact, I try to keep SCV content or units going constantly. You notice I do have what are they even called? I can't read the things on the screen here. Marauders. I want to say Marauders. They're not Marauders. I mean, I don't have the purchased Marauders yet. Gosh, I'm having a total brain fart here. There are a couple more minerals up there I'm going to grab. Mercenaries. I knew it started with an M. I have the mercenaries now, so I do have the war pigs. I probably won't buy too many of the mercenaries just because I want to spend my credits on unit upgrades instead of mercenary upgrades, because I'd rather have all my units be more powerful than only a small squad of powerful units.
Unacceptable landing.
I'm going to, of course, put a reactor on this factory so I can produce medics doubly and Marines doubly, because I did get the medics don't need reactor or tech lab upgrade, which is very nice. Throwing down a supply depot again. I get supply blocks so often. What I'm showing off here are the route that those evacuation trucks are going to take. There's 3 points where the Zerg attack considerably large amount, and you want to try and at least station some units at those or bunker them up. I like to bunker them up, especially on the easier difficulties. You can just place 2 bunkers at each spot, and it will be perfectly defended, especially if you put an SCV in there with auto repair on, because he's going to take care of those bunkers. You can pretty much just ignore them. The other method for this game is to escort the transport every time. You make a large group of units and you just escort it all the way up.
They didn't give a damn about the colony.
Both are viable methods, both work. Obviously, escorting the vehicle requires a little more micro than just bunkering up. But as long as you get enough minerals, especially on normal difficulty, it's not going to be an issue. You're going to have plenty of units, plenty of resources. This whole mission's going to be a breeze. In fact, it's so painful because it's really slow. You know, if there was a send 2 transports at once button, I would have probably pushed that 3 times once I got 2 transports up, because that would have ended the game really quick. Unfortunately, it might have run me over. I might have got run over there, but again, it's pretty easy once you have those 3 spots full of bunkers. There is the Zerg research for this map. There are 2 more on the map, and I'm going to go for them later. I'll talk about those when I do. I believe there is 1 south of the path and 1 north of the path. When I was playing, I forgot where the 3rd one was, and I think I went on a little journey that I regretted for a bit. But again, we'll get to that when it shows up. Continuing SCV production, I am grabbing a few war pigs there. You can see them drop pod in. Those guys are pretty nice, pretty powerful. In fact, I just realized today that one of the alternate skins in Heart of the Swarm that you can unlock is very similar, if not the exact skin of the war pig skin, and I'm really excited for that. I really like it. You can also get new zealot and new zergling upgrades as well. They are pretty cool looking skins. You can check those out on StarCraft on Facebook, or just wait for Heart of the Swarm and unlock them yourself by leveling your character. I know, or your races. I know I'll be doing that. Whether or not I'm playing against other people or NPCs, that's yet to be found, but I'm pretty excited for that. Lots of cool stuff going to be up in Heart of the Swarm. Anyways, I'm continuing medevac, or medic. Gosh, I make this medevac medic mistake constantly. I'm just not used to commentating games with medics in them, so I want to say medevac. Anyways, I'm continuing to produce medics and marauders. I produce a few marines every once in a while, but most of the marines I produce go into the bunkers. Anyways, here I'm going to go down south for the other research point. You can see it right there. Pretty easy to grab that one. And I believe I wander around here for a bit, but I end up finding the other one eventually. In fact, I think I thought it was somewhere in the pitch black of the map to the right there, but it is indeed north of the path. In fact, it is literally right by this location where I'm at right now. And there I go. I'm going to set up the second bunker.
Into the starport. Move it.
I believe the second transport is now moving out. We have rescued a few of the survivors there. Yeah, there goes the second transport. And again, checking the mercenary base every once in a while, looking for the extra war pigs to come down. Again, supply blocked, building more supply depots. Obviously, when you're playing in multiplayer, I don't recommend building 3 supply depots at once. But I got so many minerals here, I'm almost outplaying the game itself. It's not really designed for you. Yeah, this was the mistake I made. I tried to go in there, and there's a very, very well-defended base there. And I don't have any anti-air in that group, or at least not enough, so I was running away from those mutalisks and to get to that bunker. A small attack going on there. That overlord's going to go down pretty easily. Did I put fire bats in that bunker? I don't think I did. I think the game... You know, I didn't. I'm having to view this through my editing program because for some reason playing it through VLC or Windows Media Player, it was really choppy. So... Unfortunately, I'm playing it through my editing program, so the quality's low. It's not choppy, but the quality's low. So I'm really scratching to get this done here. It's or struggling. Heck of a deal, but I'm gonna get them out to you. And again, I was gonna do episode 2 and 3 in a large episode, but I just realized that it's just too big. The episode 1 I put up today, it took probably 4 to 5 hours to upload and process by YouTube, and that was just too long. I want to get these episodes out a little quicker. It also took about 2.5 hours to encode. So if I do smaller episodes, I will get them out quicker. Oddly enough, if you do shorter episodes, but ultimately the same length, it actually is quicker, which is weird. But that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully these episodes will keep coming out. Obviously, you're viewing 2 now. 3 won't be far behind. And then Of course, that is originally planned only episode 1 and 2, and by today, Friday, I had hoped to have episode 4 out, which would now be probably episode 7 or something. So I am behind, but as I said earlier, I am going to do this series until it's done. I'm going to do it every day until it's done. So you're at least going to get 1 episode a day for the foreseeable future until this campaign is done, because I wanted to get it done before Heart of the Swarm came out. But unfortunately, that's just not going to happen.
Commander,
So I'll do my best to get as
convoy will
much
be
into the
heading out
campaign
soon.
as we can. And it will probably be done sometime next week, as long as I get out the quantity I want. We'll see about that. Again, it's a speed run, so we skip through all the superfluous stuff, and that obviously makes this whole playthrough quicker. If I was just doing a Let's Play, I would have you watch all the cutscenes and all the cinematics and all that good stuff, but that isn't what this is about. So, more supply depots. I'm supply blocked yet again. Alright, here I go. I'm going to get that other Zerg research. I was bulking up this group thinking, oh, it's going to be highly defended or something. There's 1 Hydralisk around it. Maybe some Burrowlings. Yeah, there were a few lings. The Firebats took care of them pretty easily. And there we go. All 3 research. And to talk on the point of the research, which I don't know if I did it in this episode or the previous episode, but I'll do it in this one again. Basically, with the research, you want to max out the Protoss research. It's the best. It's got some extremely awesome choices towards the end. So in this campaign, I'm going to try and max out the Protoss research. Obviously, the Zerg research is important, and every time you can get a research point, period, on a mission, I would go for it and try to grab it, because it's obviously going to make everything easier down the road. So do that. I mean, that's why I'm taking the time to grab them here. It's not that hard. That's why I take the time to grab them in other missions. I believe I grabbed a couple Protoss ones in the first mission, or the first episode. So that, again, that's important. Grab that stuff. But don't do the optional missions you don't need to do because of the research. That's going to slow you down and just add time to your campaign. You don't want to do that. Obviously, on normal, you could probably do a few extras, but I'm not chancing it. I am going straight down the list of the missions that I need to do, and hopefully, with all efficiency, I will get this achievement. And again, I believe you can refine it with replaying missions. That's something you can look into later on. Here I'm going to check and go down here, but there's actually nothing to go down. I thought there was a base or something down there, but such is not the case, so I pull away from that. I'm just showing off a few areas that seem to get high attacks there, but they don't ever seem to in this game, and I think that's because we're on normal. Last time I played this mission, it was on brutal, and it was brutal. It was pretty hard, so I'm just going around, clearing out the map, grabbing some resources lying about, even though I don't really need them. I think I have too many SCVs at this point, which is rare for a mission map,
just detected Zerg
campaign map.
entering the upper atmosphere.
And now we're going to start getting some drops coming in. I mean, it's cool that they have the drops, but at the same time, they still pretty much only drop along those 3 points of the road, so it doesn't really matter. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start pushing this base, and I lost both my Firebats there. That's why Firebats suck. Basically, I'm hoping the game will end if I beat this base, but I'm not really worried about it. Either way, again, if it ended early, that'd be nice, simply because there's a timed mission, but I don't think it can, because you have to get those civilians out. And it obviously doesn't when I finish, as you watch this. But I figure, why the heck not? I'm bored. I might as well do something entertaining, so I go after this base. And it has spine crawlers everywhere. Obviously, there's a lot of Mutalisks in it. There's Hydralisks, there's Zerglings, which is an interesting point. I've yet to see any new Zerg units. No Roaches, no Brood Lords. There are Spine Crawlers and Spore Crawlers. Those are technically new. No Banelings. They've really kind of kept it limited, which I never realized the first time I played through the campaign or even, subsequent playthroughs. But that's pretty cool. They actually kept it old school for a while, and we're just kind of like, well, you're gonna get some new things thrown at you sooner or later, and you're gonna be like, what is this? What's happening here? So that's actually pretty cool. I'm actually pretty excited about that. Anyways, you got a huge burst of units there. I'm gonna start beefing up this little army quite a bit. It took a few losses in that base attack, not too bad. I backed off though. I just kept running into more and more troops. I guess there's a few lings there that dropped off in a different location, but I mean the escorts for that guy easily clear it out. They're not going to do that on hard or brutal, so if you're playing on those difficulties, don't expect that. You will need to escort that truck at least with a small squad in normal, even if you do the bunker play. So that just as an FYI, heads up, whatever you will. More supply depots as you see there. A couple guys got trapped. Luckily, you can lower supply depots. Always a problem when I'm playing Protoss. I get probes stuck behind stuff all the time. And then I can't get them out. And I don't want to build a warp prism to get a dumb probe out. I always wish workers had a self-destruct button. Simply because they get stuck so often. Let me just blow them up so I can rebuild it at the base or something. And that's easily cleaned up. I think all the escorts are dead. Look at my SCV's repairing it. Oh, that's awesome. I wouldn't have noticed that if when I was just playing. All right. I mean, that's a cool tip. If you feel your escorts are going to get damaged, send some SCVs with them and they'll repair. One thing I did notice on brutal difficulty when I played this last is if the vehicle the civilians are in gets blown up, the civilians survive and will start running to the starport. So you're not done if the vehicle goes down. Keep escorting them because the civs will run. Obviously, they're going to be a lot more squishy, and you're probably going to lose a few that way, but not necessarily. So do escort them down. And now I work my way over in here, and I couldn't name what an overseer is. I think I said observer like 8 times. There is a roach warren and a baneling nest up here, but there's also hives and all kinds of crazy tech. You wouldn't expect to be sitting up here in a base for no reason. I mean, Blizz just kind of put them in for the heck of it, I guess. It's interesting some of the things that game developers and whatnot will do when designing a base mission like this, where you're not really intended to come in here and clear this out. They don't necessarily expect you to do that. But when you do, you run into some oddities, like a roach warren and baneling nest, even though you don't see a single roach or baneling in this mission. Obviously, the overseers. Why do the Zerg need overseers? They don't throw changelings at you, and you have nothing that can cloak. And why do they have 2 hives? Why do they have resources? Like, they could just trigger event their units. I guess it's just to give the game a little bit of life and flow, if you will. Make it feel alive, which I definitely won't argue against. And there are so many spine colors in this base. It is ridiculous. Oh, there's a few roaches. All right. So a few roaches thrown in here. I'm giving them a little more credit there. I didn't expect that. I didn't even see them when I was playing because they died so quickly. So there's probably a few roach attacks here in this mission that I just happened to miss. And there's the hydrogen as well. And I'm just going to run around here for a bit more. I pretty much clear this out. I think the last of the civilians are moving up the way now. Yeah, I think I can see the ping there. That should be the last of the civilians. And this mission's going to wrap up fairly soon as I wrap up their base, as it were. Nidus worms do start spawning as the last vehicle goes up. That makes things a lot more dangerous on the harder difficulties. On this difficulty, it didn't seem to change anything. I believe a few do erupt on the path as well, which you do have to be careful about. Again, not really on normal, because nothing's hard on normal. It just takes time to do it. And of course, you can see that SCV going in there to auto-repair. That's obviously helpful. Harder difficulties, you may want 1 SCV for each bunker, just to keep them all up. And of course, on harder difficulties, you're probably building more than 2 bunkers. I remember having 4, maybe even 5 on brutal. And this mission wasn't too hard on brutal. It just, it takes a lot more attention. You got to get your units up. You got to escort the vehicle. If you feel you're good at StarCraft, honestly, brutal's a great challenge. I've had considerable difficulty with some of the middle level games, and they've taken me several attempts to get. But you get them eventually, and it's really rewarding when you do. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it. That's going to be victory right there. I want to thank you for tuning in. Please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe so I can bring you more StarCraft 2 content, so I can bring you more Wings of Liberty and now Heart of the Swarm action. And do tune in for more episodes. Again, as I said, I shortened them up a little bit so we can get them out hopefully quicker to you. I want to try and get them done as fast as possible. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. I have been Zoronden, and I will catch you all on the other side.